I'm going to show you how to make a loading screen in Roblox Studio. Start by adding a screen GUI into the starter GUI. Make sure that the Ignore GUI inset property is set to true. Then add a frame into the screen GUI. Rename the frame to Loading Screen. Go ahead and set the background color to 100, 196, 255. Then set the size to 1010. Alright, let's add a frame into the loading screen. Rename the frame to Loading Background. Set the anchor point to 0.5 and the background color to 255, 87, 132. Set the position property to 0.5, 0, 0.5, 0. Good. Now set the size to 0.5, 0, 0.1, 0. Let's add a UI stroke into the loading background. Set the thickness to 4. Add a frame into the loading background. Rename the frame to Loading Bar. Set the loading bar's background color to 35, 255, 189. Change the size to 0.3010. Now add a text label into the loading background frame. Rename the text label to Load Text Label. Set the anchor point to 0.5. Set the background transparency to 1. Now change the position to 0.5, 0, negative 0.7, and 0. Make sure that the label is in the center of the screen and then change the font to Bangers. Set the text color to white and the text scale to true. Make the text value say loading with 3 dots. Add a UI stroke into the text label. Set the thickness to 2. Go and add a UI stroke into the loading bar frame. Set its thickness to 4. Add a text label into the loading bar. Rename it to Number. And now set the background transparency to 1. Change the position to 0, 5, 0, 5. Set the size to 0, 50, 0, 50. The font face should be Bangers and have a text value of 1% to start off. Set the text color to white. Make sure that the text scaled is true. Add a UI stroke into the text label. The thickness here should be 2. Close up the frames here. Find the replicated first tab. Add a local script into it. Close your eyes and picture this. You're a Roblox developer, crafting games that players can't stop playing. Your ideas come to life, your creations go viral, and you're surrounded by a community of friends who admire your success. You're not just coding, you're winning. Now snap back to reality. You're watching another YouTube tutorial, piecing things together, hoping to crack the code. But deep down, you know there's a faster way. What if you had a mentor, a real Roblox developer who's been there, done that, and knows every trade secret? Someone who can skip the guesswork, hand you the shortcuts, and guide you straight to success. With a mentor by your side, you'll race past the roadblocks. Your games will level up, drawing bigger crowds, more likes, and more players. You'll go from stuck to unstoppable. The finish line is closer than you think. All it takes is one step. Click the link below. Head to our Get Started page and book your weekly session with a pro developer. They'll walk you through projects step by step, unlocking your potential and transforming you into the developer you were born to be. So don't waste any more time. Click the link below and start before there are no more spots available. Drag and drop the screen GUI into the local script. Make sure that it is in the replicated first and not the replicated storage. Now it's finally time to code. Start by creating a variable for the replicated first service, then a variable for the player service, and a variable for the run service. Write a line of code to remove the default loading screen. Make a variable for the player and the player GUI. Then create a variable for the screen GUI. Create a variable for the loading screen frame. Now make a variable for the loading background frame. We also need a variable for the loading bar itself. Let's not forget a variable for the loading text label. Write another variable, this time for the percentage text label. Drop down a couple lines and make a variable named loading screen duration and set it to 4. Another variable named counting down and set to false. And a variable named loading set to true. Make a connection variable set to nil and a count variable set to 0. Now write this line of code and a line of code to reference the percentage text. Set the parent of the screen, GUI, to the player GUI. And write the code that changes the 3 dots of the loading text. Create an amount variable. Create a start time variable. Make a connection variable that we'll be using for the run service. Inside of the run service function, write the code that controls the loading bar. Add a wait statement. And place some variables here that will let us make the loading screen disappear. Write the code to make the loading screen disappear when the loader reaches 100%. Okay, now that the script is done, go back to your base plate and press play. This looks really good. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. As always, the script is in the description below.